Ye, who accompany the bear to the house of rest, who pilot the ship of Ra, ever advancing onwards the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine, which standeth in the center of the earth. Behold, he is me, and I am him. Mine is the radiance, wherein Ta floateth over the firmament. I travel upon high, I tread upon the firmament of Nu. I raise a flashing flame with the lightning of mine eye, ever rushing on the splendor of the
My third eye's open, I can see past the commotion. I can't get lost in the moment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. Higher dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My third eye open, I can see past the commotion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. Higher dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm guaranteed to check like TSA. 1 in a million like a...
Grand day. Could just get the band and the music down just a tad bit. There we are. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for joining me tonight on this live episode of the SaCrEd LiGhT Community Nightcap. And in this SaCrEd Community Night space, the space is meant to be a very relaxing and soothing wind flow, held with healing energies, enlightenment of self, and different healing practices. So with that, is here to continue this journey, exploring the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the Atlantean. And we are on Tablet 2, Part 2. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take us a little bit into the past of last week, where we left off with our previous episode, where we're going to be continuing with this Emerald Tablet. Welcome in, Dawn. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Alrighty, so we're just going to do a real quick rewind to last week so you guys can explore and see where it is that we left off, and we'll be picking up on Emerald Tablet number 2.
My third eye's open, I can see past the commotion. I can't get lost in the moment. Yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. Higher dimensions we going. Yeah.
So this right here is the ultraviolet Tesla technology UV wand. And this UV ray wand basically has ultraviolet frequencies. Ooh. Ultraviolet frequencies. And ultraviolet frequencies, if you know, when it comes to the medical industry, as well as tablet number 2 is about the Halls of Amenti. Oh boy, here we go. So then the halls of life, they lie sleeping. So those are the halls of life. The halls of life are the upper planes. The halls of the dead are the lower planes in this depiction that we're looking at. So this is so, like, I am fucking mind blown right now that spirit just guided us to this. This is actually a, ancient Kemetic death. This goes by the original terms, the original name. Oh, so that right there is where we had left off with our series of exploring and diving into the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. So that being said, before we continue into our study, I want to go ahead and break us open with a nice grounding practice, as well as a oracle card from the ancient Egyptian alchemical oracle deck, the Book of Doors Divination. Beautiful deck. Let me get some more light for you guys, actually. There we go. So that's the deck right there. The Book of Doors divination deck, and it is a alchemical oracle from ancient Egypt. It also goes by the original names as well. In case if you're someone that resonates more with the original blueprints. So we're going to do a collective card, just a single card, and see what we have intuitively for us to connect with in this space as we open into our second part of Tablet 2. Ooh, here we are. And also take a moment, focus on some breaths. Maybe just ground yourself if you haven't grounded today. Relax the mind, the emotions, the nerves. Just allow yourself to really settle in and get cozy and comfortable, and allow yourself to really just absorb the energies of the unconditional love, the guidance, the knowledge, the empowerment that is going to flow through this space tonight. And I just welcome you to kind of let go of whatever's been going on in your life, whatever's been carrying heavy on you, and anything else, just let those bags at the door, so to say. Okay? Grab your tea, grab snacks, grab your cannabis, feel of cannabis, whatever it may be. Allow yourself to just really relax, enjoy these frequencies as we start to explore more of the Emerald Tablets. And our card out of the Egyptian deck, oh my gosh, I got chills right now. Yo, the chills are already started. Oh man, I've been crying a lot lately, guys. I don't know what's been going on with that, but I have been crying a lot lately. And it's like crying as in not emotional. It's just happening. I'm not even emotional about it. The tears just come out. It's like, energetic layers shedding, so to say. And it's deep. I feel ancestral, collective, so much stuff shedding my energy field. And what's wild is the synchronicities. The synchronicities have been insane. When I say insane, I don't just mean insane. Let me, before I reveal this card, let me open the space with some sage real quick. And as I smudge this space, I like to give thanks to our ancestors tonight, as well as our galactic family, as they begin to reveal themselves more and more to our collective awareness. And I also like to give thanks for this beautiful sage spirit, for this medicine that is about to provide balance the energy field into harmonics. May this space be filled with clarity, presence, and acceptance of the truth, for whatever that may be, authentically. May we continue to drop the bags at the door and let go of anything that we are continuing to carry from outside of the space going on in the world, from others. You can just take a few breaths if you would like, and just let go of the baggage and anything else that you just don't want to carry. Just let it go and relax. This is your opportunity to just really receive healing energy. Thank you for being here. Enjoy this night as we explore. So, one reason why I'm getting very blurry, high vibration is Emerald Tablet number 2. If you recall from the episode, the Halls of Amenti. We're going to be continuing to explore the Halls of Amenti as we continue with part 2. And with Halls of Amenti being said, the card that we just got tonight is Amenta. The card that we pulled out of tonight that I didn't even plan to pull out until after the episode started. Jeez, the internet. I don't know what's going on right now. Okay. Might be the energy. But the card that we pulled is Amenta, the Halls of Amenti. And the tablet that we're exploring is Amenti. So, that's very interesting. I'll see what the divination meeting is, but after that, we're gonna be getting the information from Thoth himself on what Amenta is as we continue. All right. Do I Amenta? Right. So Duat Amenta means. Oh, there it is. Oh, it means the hidden place. The underworld. Under the earth. A land between the earth and the heavens. That's interesting. So it says it's a land between the earth and the heavens, but it's underneath the earth. That's intriguing. A land between the earth and the heavens. Okay, I see what they're saying now. So they're saying it's like the fourth dimension, the etheric realm, the Akashic record realm. So that's like that in-between state, the metaphysical realm. It's that in-between of physical and pure light. So that's like where the Halls of Amenti lie. That's where the Akashic records lie, in that fourth dimension, kind of like etheric blueprint system type of feel. So with that being said, a spiritual, nope, going into the darkness, the quadrant has only the self to rely on. An adventure in the unknown. Oh, okay. Oh, man. I knew it. Confirmation. Ooh, wee. Yep. You know, there's some exciting times that we're in right now. And this is the confirmation that I have really been buzzing on. And what that is for all of you out there. So it says going into the darkness. Think about this from a collective standpoint of what we're going through. Going into the darkness, the quadrant has only the self to rely on. An adventure into the unknown. All right. I'm going to let you process that for a moment. The quadrant only has self to rely on. So it's almost like we're going through a period of initiation with our own selves, and we have to really be in tune with ourselves and listen to ourselves and tap in with our higher guidance and know that we are the only one that can steer ourselves during these times. The more that we steer ourselves and show others to steer themselves, then we steer ourselves together. We don't want to steer each other. We want to steer ourselves together. I'm going to repeat that again. It sounds like a rhyme. We don't want to steer each other. We want to steer ourselves together. We don't want to steer each other. We want to steal. Oh my gosh. It's a tongue twister. We don't want to steer each other. We want to steer ourselves together. Man, I love how spirit flows like that. We do not want to steer each other. We want to steer ourselves together. Oh, man. That is like one of the keys right there. I swear it's one of the keys. Listen to that parable. Think about it. I'll break it down afterwards to you guys. We don't want to steer each other. We want to steer ourselves together. Ooh. It just gets me all tingly. Man. Welcome in, Sandy. Good to see you, Casey. And good to see you, everybody else. Allie, Dawn. We're just flowing tonight. We're taking our time. It's what we do in the Nightcap Lounge. We just take our time and enjoy the night and just, digress and let go from the day and know that there's nowhere to go and nowhere to be besides right here, chilling in the Nightcap Lounge. We haven't even gotten to the Emerald Tablets yet. And we're already like, man. I tell you what, man. These spaces, you stay tuned. You'll catch one of the waves, I'm telling you. Something's going to spark in you. One love. So I want to share something with you guys I just got. It's a pretty awesome supplement, if you want to call it a supplement. Be right back. I want to share this with you guys. In the meantime, while I'm going to grab that, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys get a little cleanse and aura activation. Rose quartz crystal, copper tensor tool, raw rising codes, Paul the Venetian, Ascended Masters series. I invite and invoke Ascended Master Paul the Venetian, Lord of the Third Ray, Pink Ray of Divine Love, Compassion, and Charity. Show me and guide me the ways of unconditional love through wisdom and action, so that I may receive the gifts and divine messages of Spirit. I am receiving the energies of devotion to beauty, as well as seeing the perfection of the soul beyond the veil, beyond duality. I am a grounding into loving patience, understanding, and self-discipline as I continue to focus on my creative abilities, co-create, and anchor new earth grids. I shed the layers of all resistance. Ashe. Ashe. Whew. Eesh. Ashe to that. Thank you, Paul the Venetian, the wonderful Ascended Master of the Third Ray, the Pink Ray. So beautiful, these different rays of divine light that we can just express and experience. And that's a whole other topic on this one, man. So I'm gonna cue up the jazz band again, if you guys want to get back to it. Potentially. Maybe. Hold on. What's up? Oh. Hold on. I got a call. Oh, what? Okay. I see. So you want me to tell the jazz band that they're not going to be needed tonight? You mean you had them come all the way out here and I have to tell them that we're actually not going to be needed? What? Okay. So what are we going to do then? What's the music? Okay. All right, will do. Okay. Will do. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they'll be ready for it. I'm sure they'll love it. All right. Thank you. Yep. Okay. Well, it looks like the local jazz band is not going to be performing tonight any longer. We have decided to change the vibration tonight in the Nightcap Lounge, ladies and gentlemen. And tonight in the Nightcap Lounge, it appears that we are going to be diving into our ancestral lineages a little bit, as we are going to flow. Eyashana Isitia Usayashtia Imeyasata Utua Imeyas Utua Iashi Isitia Tu Imeyasi Shitiata Yana Sia Tukuata Ishimiana Kuka Isinia Sukuataya Shi Myasia Nobu Ushuata Yasinikia Ushiamana Tu Yamana. Breathe in the potency of who you are in this moment. Please take a moment. Be present within the center of your being and feel the flow of the crystalline light of all that is, channeling through your chest and through your being. Surrender to this energy. Feel your power and know that you are enough and you are worthy of all this power that you are. You do not have to save the world. You do not have to be changed by others. You may continue to follow your passions, your love, and create your own world within worlds, because you are a co-creator of the all, experiencing itself, weaving webs around the globe. You are a divine vehicle, just as your brother and sister. Remember to treat yourself as a divine vehicle to experience more divinity through your vehicle. Isha muto asiki te imiana sutu ataya shi isimiana kuta iamana sutea Imiyaba shukute imiyana sutua ishineya kuta. So as we continue, grounded with our ancestors, feeling their warmth and power and wisdom flowing through us, we continue with our card Amenta, as we are about to continue our exploration of Emerald Tablet number 2, which is the Halls of Amenti. So this is going into darkness. The Quarant has only the self to rely on and venture into the unknown. Embrace the unknown is what the universe wants you to do during these times in the world. Of course, you can take it or leave it and do as you wish with your free will. But in this moment, in this message, you're being reminded the choice and the free will. Remember your individualness, and you may let go of the collective when you need. Simiyana Ushiniki Isimi Kuta Imiyana Kuta Si Imiyanatu. So as we continue along our journey in this nightcap lounge I think it's time to continue to Emerald Tablet number 2. All right. As we continue, tablet number 2, the Halls of Amenti. Namaste, you're welcome, Casey. Thank you for being here. As we continue exploring the Halls of Amenti, where we left off, we were, let me find the spot. Okay, so here is where we left off in this study. And before we begin, I always like to give these kind of reminders to you guys that remember that this is from a I am standpoint as we go through this knowledge. So try not to view yourself as a separate being from Thoth as you're reading this. Try to see yourself as Thoth speaking through your own lens, but in his own shoes, if that makes sense. So instead of seeing Thoth as a separate being speaking upon this, try to see it as a reflection within your own consciousness, speaking about the creation of life. And with that, then you can just allow yourself to intuitively receive any messages that come through within the lines of this knowledge. So we've explored who Thoth is, we've explored his experiences in Atlantis and what he knew about the fall of Atlantis, and we have also explored some other aspects as well, including the talk of children of the light being star seeds on the earth. So as we continue along, we have he who by progress has grown from the darkness. I'm gonna go ahead and make this a little bit bigger for you guys as well, actually. All right. So we have he who by progress has grown from the darkness, lifted himself from the night into light. Free is he, made of the halls of Amenti, free of the flower of life and of light. Guided by wisdom and knowledge, passes from men to the master of life. There he may dwell as one with the masters, free from the bonds of the darkness of night, seated within the flower of radiance. Sit 7 lords from the space-times above us, helping and guiding through infinite wisdom, the pathway through time of the children of men. Mighty and strange they, veiled with their power, silent, well-knowing, drawing the life force, different yet one with the children of men. Different and yet one with children of light. custodians and watchers of the force of man's bondage, ready to loose when the light has been reached. First and most mighty sits the veiled presence, Lord of Lords, the infinite nine, over the other from each, the lords of the cycles. Oh man, things are starting to heat up. My body's starting to get warm. Welcome in, Lunar Queen. Welcome, Lula. Dawn. Welcome, Dawn Thompson. Good to see you all. And enjoy yourselves and get cozy and just allow your third eye to be buzzed and flow. That's all I gotta say. We're flowing some very potent information tonight. So make sure you're grounding yourself, get comfortable, and enjoy. Also, if you guys are just now tapping in, I pulled a card from the Egyptian Oracle deck, and the card we got was Amenta, the Halls of Amenti. You won't even believe it. The card that I pulled was Halls of Amenti, and Tablet 2 is about Halls of Amenti. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Welcome in, Syria. Good to see you, sister. Before we continue, I just wanted to take a moment to share this with you guys. This was an item that I received today from the vitamin shop here out in Ohio. And I'm sure you guys can get it at many other places as well, including probably Amazon too. But this really drew me in and attracted me. This is a wonderful thing, man. I had some of this today, first time, this combination. And I literally felt like my whole entire body just became nothing but energy. It was wonderful. But it's called Himalayan Shilajit Honey Sticks. And it's by Better Alternative. And it's, fulvic acid, Shilajit from the Himalayan mountains. And then it also has organic honey mixed in with it. And then it comes in basically, disposable sticks that you can just carry with you. Very reliable, like, look at that. Comes like that, comes in a little packet. And it has Shilajit and honey in it. Perfect for your tea and coffee on the go. So if you have a tea or coffee in your car or you're out at an event, you can have these on you and just put that in there. Give yourself some, 90 minerals boost with some honey. I mean, this is so awesome. I love the abundance and the beauty of the time that we're in with the way that we are so resourceful. So if you look, this is what it looks like for everybody out there. And I can link it for you guys as well. I'll go ahead and put the link in the chat on YouTube and then put it on the screen for you guys. And I'll put it down below in the description too as well. It's really good stuff though. I'll just let you guys take a look at this while it loads. I might as well. The beauty of technology, I tell you. So this is it right here. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I don't even have it up. So there it is right there for you guys. Himalayan Shilajit Honey Sticks on the go energy with fulvic acid. Like, super good combination. I can't even go down the list of how many good benefits there is to that. But awesome combo, highly recommend it. Great way to get all of your vitamins and minerals. If you guys don't know about Shilajit yet, it has about 90 to 100 of our vitamins and minerals in it. And that includes like magnesium and iron and all that stuff. So with that being said, you know, it's a really good way to cut out all the supplements and just take one thing. And then you can also mix it with things like tea, coffee, and honey, all sorts of other things as well. So I just wanted to take a moment to share that resource with you guys, as I love sharing my holistic health resources and tools and the many different things. Because I know last week I shared, you know, the Tesla ultraviolet ray with you guys, and that's something you can check out in the last episode as well on the YouTube channel. I have a couple videos showing the wand and what it does and all of its health benefits as well. So with that being said, we will go ahead and continue our journey into the Emerald Tablets. And wow, I think we're just going to go ahead and start breaking this down a little bit for real, because it's already getting really nice. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I'll go ahead and start breaking this down for us. And if you have anything to share in the comments, you know, feel free. You are definitely like welcome to comment, share your downloads, anything you feel, just holla at me. All right. So he said, he who by progress has grown from the darkness, lifted himself from the night into light. So I'm just going to go ahead and start breaking that down to start. So what he means by this from my translation is, he who by progress has grown from the darkness, lifted himself from the night into light. So this is very simple way of making this tangible. Is think about yourself, think about what we go through as human beings. Think about the darkness that we go through in our life. Think about how many shadows and dark nights of the soul, deaths and rebirths we go through in our life. That's what this means here when Thoth says, he who by progress has grown from the darkness, lifted himself from the night into light. So it's basically he who has conquered and integrated their shadows has been able to lift themselves from darkness into enlightenment or light. Nothing more crazy than that. That is what that's portraying, basically. So then it says, free is the flower of the Halls of Amenti. If you guys don't mind, you know, give a share, give a like, get those algorithms flowing, share this to some community, to some loved ones that may want to dive into this self-empowerment, self-mastery, alchemy knowledge. And thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you guys. Get cozy and enjoy. We're going to be here for a little while. So again, for those that are just tapping in, another reminder is when we go through this knowledge, we're speaking from the I am, and we're not seeing Thoth as a separate being, but we're seeing Thoth as an extension of our consciousness, reflecting back the laws and the creation principles. And as well as this, also the experiences through the lens of Thoth, as Thoth was a being during Atlantis in Egypt as well, and then reincarnated as different names and beings during different periods like Hermes Trismegistus. But continuing on, we were just talking about how he says, he who by progress was grown from the darkness lifted himself from the night into light. Talking about how basically as a human being, those of us that have conquered, integrated, and came into balance with our shadows, our dark nights of the soul, our rebirths, we have lifted ourselves from our own night into light. So we've lifted ourselves from the darkness of our densities into enlightenment, or a lighter self of our own version. And then it says, free is he made of the halls of Amenti, free of the flower of light and life. Guided he then by wisdom and knowledge, passes from men to the master of life. Okay, so free is he made of the halls of Amenti. So remember, the halls of Amenti are basically the different multidimensional planes of existence. And these halls represent duality. They represent, different aspects of masculine and feminine energies. And with that being said, it's not actually the supreme eternal source in a way. There's a veil. That's why there's source and there's creation. And with that being said, the halls of Amenti are creation, the different dimensions of life. And you become free of the different dimensions of life when you realize and come into a harmonic state of your mind, body, soul complex with the outer world and your inner world, the above and below, and everything else is no longer opposites, no longer separate, no longer division, but it's all just connected. It's all just expressions of consciousness with no separation whatsoever. No matter how evil, no matter how angelic, no matter how disgusting, no matter how polite, no matter how abusive, no matter how kind, it's not separate whatsoever. Even if these things seem opposite, opposites are not separate. Opposites are counter balances of each other, of one pole. So with that being said, the way you free yourself from these dualistic natures is by coming into the remembrance and the embodiment that you are the I am. You are that balance of everything. You are the Neo in the Matrix. You are the free will being that is able to make free will choices. And they got us out in this world for so long, thinking and believing that it's about chasing something, or that's about achieving and acquiring and becoming a certain something. But actually, that's been reverse programming. We already are what it is that we're trying to achieve. It's more so about letting go of the things that are keeping us from naturally being our authentic self and following our inner guidance of our passions, of service, of creativity, as it flows through us and within us, through our intuitive nature, from our energy body, connected to our higher self. I'm telling you, you can really integrate this knowledge. And you can experience something similar to how I'm experiencing life right now. Like, I'm just gonna be really transparent with you guys and vulnerable. The way that this knowledge is being broken down is the way that I'm really seeing and experiencing life at this point through my being on autopilot. And it's a blessing. It's very, very much a blessing. I'm grateful. But there's a method to it. And there's a reason why I'm able to feel this consistent, unconditional love, empowerment, guidance, protection, no matter what's happening in the world, and no matter what's happening around me, no matter what's happening to me. And that's the Holy Spirit, the divine. And it's within all of us. And that's what I want us to remember more than anything. That it's within us. We have it. Each and every one of us. Including those that we believe are struggling or that we're in fear for. They also have the divine within them. They're going through a divine experience. We all die. We all live. We all transition from these bodies. So, another part of coming into your self-mastery and into your Christ consciousness is also accepting death. Death is a part of the duality of creation. If we can't accept death, then we're still going to be only accepting half of what life is. So then when nature happens and we go through divine experiences and we start seeing a lot of death and we start seeing a lot of transitioning, we're blind to what is divinely happening. We're in amnesia as human beings of who we are, why we're here, what we're capable of, and what we come from, and what kind of crazy divine energy we are and work with every single moment. And don't even get me started about how this is just all basically a quantumly simulated experience that we just create out of our free will just to explore the eternal life of as our own self through self of the all. I mean, that's what's happening with this Thoth teachings here. It's coming to this remembrance of what we're saying right now and really reprogramming yourself and rewiring into this knowing as your normal. That's what I've done for myself, guys. I'm telling you, 10 years now of this. 10 years of basically reprogramming myself every day to make sure that I'm keeping myself in purity of truth, knowledge, empowerment. And not just for myself, but for all of us. Because we all have the capabilities of obtaining Christ consciousness within us. No matter what's happening in the outside world, and no matter what's happening in any platform. It's your free will choice to focus on this right here and your ascension process, or to focus on the polarities of life. There's always going to be stories. There's always going to be gossip. There's always going to be something. And honestly, if it's not affecting you, You just gotta be present. Be present with what the divine has for you and those around you. Can only do so much. So as we were saying here, these things we gotta let go of, and the people pleasing, the heavily physical world and material identifying, the heavy ideologies. I mean, it's all going to keep you in polarity. Trust me, it wasn't easy to reprogram and let go of these kind of things. I mean, it's basically like our normal to believe in the material world as everything, and who we are even. So yeah, become free of the flower of light and life. Why would you want to be free of the flower of light and of life? Well, life is another polarity of death. You have life and death. You can't have one without the other. So therefore, if you're still, playing the game of life, then that means you're going to have to experience death. So life isn't everything. We may think life is everything and exist in in the universe, but life isn't everything. Life is, experience. It's temporary illusions of the all source. So when you basically kind of like remove the polarity of life and death even being a thing, this is kind of difficult to explain, but I'm going to do my best. But when you remove the polarities within your mind of life and death, then that is when you just become the I am in heaven of all that is. When you realize that there's no actual night and day, or that there is actually no today and tomorrow, when you really realize and embody that there is no, continuous next moment, eternal. We are eternal. It's all eternal. Everything. So remember that when you're studying stuff about esoterics, the things that you find very fascinating and empowering about life, remember it's about you. You are it. You are just as much about what you read. You are just as much about what you hear about. You are all of that. So yeah, you can free yourself from life. Because life is illusions. The Maya. So, guided by wisdom and knowledge, passes from men to the master of life. So yeah, it's basically just saying, once you acquire this type of embodiment, then you basically become from a human to a master of life. So it's like you become more of your higher self, so to say. Then he says, there he may dwell as one with the masters, free from the bonds of the darkness of night. Seated within the flower of radiance sit 7 lords from the space-times above us, helping and guiding through infinite wisdom the pathway through time of the children of men. So this is basically just saying, once you achieve this state of being, this embodiment, then you can achieve the access of the mental dimension and the energetics of the Ascended Masters. And then with that is when you are no longer bound to karmic energy of the lower planes. Then it says, seated with the flower of radiance sit 7 lords from the space-time above us. So I'm going to take a look real quick. I'm pretty sure what this is talking about is maybe the divine rays of light. Oh yeah. The 7 divine rays of light. Oh man, that's so cool. Here we go. Here we go. Here's the divine connecting dots for us tonight. Here we go. We're about to get started now. Oh man, Lula, you said you were seeing the spectrum of colors. Oh my god, that's so crazy. Oh, here we go. Okay. So with that being said, let me ground myself for a moment. Shoo-wee. Wow, okay. It's just so amazing how our guides channel these connections through us and just nicely and neatly set it right in our laps, like, hey, here you go. Here's a very deep download for you in a divine connection of your ancestral DNA. Thank you. Thank you, Divine. So grateful for the all, Mother, Father. So continuing back to what we were doing here. So if you look here at the Emerald Tablet, number 2, and we're not going to be in any rush to go through this whatsoever. So, if we finish 2 tonight, we finish it. If we got to do part 3 for Emerald Tablet number 2, so be it. We're just flowing, surrendering. So continuing, it says, I just knew it too. Yo, and this is crazy. The Ascended Masters just came to me this week to start doing Raw Rising Codes, Ascended Masters series. And I've connected with El Moria, Lao Tzu, and Paul the Venetian so far. And now here they are popping up in this Emerald Tablet text. Good Lord. Here we go. So it says, there he may dwell as one with the masters, free from the bonds of the darkness of night. Seated within the flower of radiance sit 7 lords from the space-time above us, helping and guiding through infinite wisdom, the pathway through the time of the children of men. So he's literally speaking like out of his mouth descriptively from his lens and experience as this multidimensional being about the 7 lords of space-time. That is the 7 lords of the divine rays of light. So here we go. The first ray of light, we have the blue ray. Oh, we have the archangels on here? Okay. Well, the archangels will be for another time. I'd like to get the Ascended Masters. I guess this is like connected more so to the Archangel Lords. Interesting. So the Archangels then. Very awesome. Okay. So this is actually speaking more so on the Archangels, the Lord of the Angels. So we have the blue ray, the first ray, which is represented by Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael embodies the presence of will, power, and strength, as well as justice, balance, truth, clearing attachments and cords, and can also help with the throat chakra. And he's also a great protector, of course. So the blue ray, he carries the energies of encouragement and motivation to those who receive it. It's a message to the recipient to focus on their goals, because you have the strength to achieve them. Seeing this archangel color is a call to those who haven't allowed their inner light to shine through. Each of us has the power to reveal our true selves to the world. When we open our hearts, minds, and souls to give ourselves in this way, we are also opening to receiving. You hear that? The more that we express ourselves, the more that we open up, the more that we explore and adventure, take steps, take leaps, then that will also open us up to receiving more. So in order for us to receive more, we have to be able to take steps and give more. And the more that we take steps, the more we receive. So that is the blue ray, the first ray. Second ray is the yellow ray. We have Archangel Jophiel. Archangel Jophiel is good for blissful thoughts, depths of understanding or understanding, and abundance of joy. And then with that, also brings knowledge and upliftment. Can help you when you're overwhelmed by negative, depressing thoughts. And can also help you with being able to process your emotions, and can help you through difficult circumstances and problem solving.
Phew, I'm buzzing. So the third ray we have, the ray that I actually worked with today, is the pink ray. The pink ray, we have Archangel Chamuel. Archangel Chamuel is unconditional love across the universe. Help mankind embrace loving and kindness towards others and themselves. And it also helps with selflessness and spiritual growth. And then it also helps you with knowing how to go forward without having conditions surrounding love. If you're experiencing this ray, it helps you with remembering your balance, not to be codependent or not to be possessive. And then taking care of yourself and taking care of those around us through good service. The fourth ray, the white ray, we have Archangel Gabriel. He's referred to as the great messenger. So he's good for your prayers, guidance, information. Can also help you with receiving mental clarity and revelation about problems or puzzles, basically. When I say puzzles, I mean puzzles within your mind. And it helps with channeling, clear communication, and you can connect with him through the white light. Can help you see positive change. Next we have number 5, the green ray. Archangel Raphael, the ultimate healer. So it helps with physical ailments, helps with mental illness, emotional pains, helps with basically psychic surgery, the overall well-being of mankind. He's someone that you can work with if you're a practitioner or a community. Next, number 6, we have the red ray. The red ray is Archangel Uriel. That's with a U. And the 6th red ray is known as the pillar of solitary strength. So this is nurturing your inner peace and strength. It is also clearing out and facing conflict and negativity. It is also grounding from anxious energies. Learning to let go and forgive from the experiences and energies that you experience. Letting go of guilt and resentment energies. And then lastly, the 7th ray, we have the purple. And this is going to be compassion, mercy, protection, and freedom. You can associate it with amethyst, and you can connect with Archangel Zadkiel. and he's the angel of mercy. Is a guide of the life paths. Offers compassion and freedom of energy. Freedom of suffering. Freedom of attachment. Can also help free yourself from challenges that you face when it comes to faith and positivity. A reminder of loving kindness for yourself. And through that loving kindness for yourself, you will attract. So those are the 7 lords of the rays that Thoth was just talking about there. Wow. I am buzzing. Good stuff. Hydration check for everybody. Make sure you guys are drinking, some good water or tea or whatever it may be tonight. So, Thoth is now speaking to us about the Council of Archangels. Very intriguing. All right, so we'll continue. And I'm sure there's also other interpretations of the 7, so to say, just like there is with everything else. So as we continue, we are at lords from the time space above us, helping and guiding through infinite wisdom, the pathway through time of the children of men. Yep, that's them. Because think about that. The archangels are basically permanently in place to be what they are, to uphold the law of one. So with that being said, that's what Thoth is literally just describing, is they're the lords from the time space above us, which is the heavenly planes above us, where we are currently in this earth. And then it just says, free from the bonds, it says, helping and guiding through infinite wisdom, the pathway through time of the children of men. So helping and guiding through infinite wisdom. So you can take that 2 different ways. It's kind of like a double entendre, if you guys know what that means. It's like 2 meanings. I'm sure there's more too, but helping and guiding through infinite wisdom. So that could mean either they are guiding by giving infinite wisdom, or that they are guiding people through their experiences of infinite wisdom. But I think it's also one and the same, however you want to interpret that. But basically what he's saying is that they sit as the lords of time space above us in the heavenly realms, basically being the guardians or the keepers, helping guide us to stay in connection and balance with our soul journey as we continue to ascend from our incarnation of descension. Because we go into darkness when we descend into these lower densities, the 3rd dimension, the 2nd dimension, it's very dense. A lot of ignorance, a lot of darkness, not a lot of enlightenment, as you guys can see. But now we're kind of moving into a 4th dimensional collective reality. So now what you're seeing is more people are becoming more self-aware and self-empowered. because we're moving into a fourth density consciousness. So as we continue, they then say the pathway through time of the children of men. So yeah, this guiding, doing what they do as their law of one space, helping guide every round of man that incarnates as they move through the ignorance of the lower densities. So then it says, mighty and strange, they veiled with their power, silent, all-knowing, drawing the life force, different yet one with the children of men, different and yet one with the children of light. So what he means by this is, mighty and strange, they veiled with their power, silent and all-knowing. Think about that. He's literally just describing how we would be talking in an everyday conversation about describing what these beings are. And that's what it is, you know, like from this perception, they are mighty and strange. And then it says, they veiled with their power. They're veiled with their power. They're basically like fixed by the divine source to embody their law of one power that they are. So Thoth is just describing that. Welcome in, everybody. Feel free to hit that share button, show some love, get some hearts. Thank you for being here. We're getting deep into the tablet number 2 of the Halls of Amenti. Right now we're currently talking about Thoth's wisdom and perspective of the archangels and the 7 rays of light that the archangels guard and carry. And he's just describing how they hold the different rays of time space and continue to give the infinite wisdom of the Creator through the pathways of all the incarnated men on earth. And then he says, mighty and strange, they veiled with their power. He's just describing from his lens, his description of them. So he thinks, you know, from just like us, you know, like he thinks that the archangels are mighty and strange and they're veiled with their power because they're so permanent with their power. And then it says silent, all-knowing. And yeah, they're silent, all-knowing. You know, they don't actually sit here and talk to us. They're not like dogs or other human beings. You know, they don't speak to us. They don't need to speak because they're literally such a high frequency that they just exert their ray of light. And as they exert that ray of light, it then expresses through different forms in the third dimension. It's so awesome. Their spiritual body is so big that they disperse themselves into any place of the earth at any time and through whatever type of form or material to communicate with you. And sometimes it's through our own self as a channel, psychic medium. So silent and all-knowing, drawing the life force, different yet one with the children of. They're different from the men on earth, but they're still one with the men on earth because they're just different dimensional forms of the one Creator still. And then it says different and yet one with the children of light. So the children of light are not the archangels. The children of light are basically like, you know, the Christ conscious beings, the star seeds. The archangels are polarized in the light, and they stay in the light. They're not of darkness. So the children of light are the star seeds. they're the ones that continuously descend from their star planet or their star home into the lower densities of new planets and help go through the collective cycles. Those are the children of light. The archangels don't do that. The archangels hold their space in the higher councils. So that's what he's basically just explaining to us. So then he says, custodians and watchers of the force of man's bondage, ready to lose when the light has been reached. First and most mighty sits the veiled presence, Lord of Lords, the infinite nine, over the other, from each, the lords of the cycles. So it says custodians and watchers of the force of man's bondage. So again, he's still describing them. He's just saying that, you know, they're watchers. They look over as man goes through karmic experiences on the earth. And the reason why that they're watchers rather than just doing everything for us is because we signed up to incarnate in a free will dimension or a free will realm or world. So due to us coming into this free will world, the archangels cannot intervene without consent. So that's why it says they're custodians and watchers of the force of man's bondage, but ready to loose when the light has been reached. So there's actually a point where you actually don't have to consent any longer to your archangels and your guides just permanently working with you in your everyday life. Because what will happen is you will ascend and your energy field will activate and clear so much that you'll automatically, effortlessly be connected to them, and they'll be channeling through you in continuous divine time, because that's how clear you are. So with that, then you don't have to worry about doing the things to get there for them to be reached, because they'll automatically be able to have that clearance because of how light you are. Because the more light you are, the more you become them and the more you embody them. Let me say that again for you guys. The more light you are in your vehicle, your avatar, your human being, mind, body, soul complex, the more light you are, more healed you are, the more the archangels and your guides are going to be you. As in, you'll draw more of their energy into your field as your embodiment. Therefore, their guidance and energy will automatically be with you without having to go through a deep channeling or intense practice. That's why we continuously clear our chakras, ground, and continue to ascend. But you gotta ground as well with your ascension. So as we continue, now it starts to talk about 9. So we went from 7 to 9. The infinite 9. Interesting. I'm sure I can find something here for us. I've heard about the Council of 9. Look at that. Ascension glossary, the 9. nothing. Wow, I'm surprised. Welcome in, Rhonda. Ooh, I gotta slow down. I'm typing so fast. I am just like buzzing right now. Okay. The Council of Nine. What do we got here? Oh, why did I do that? Okay, the Council of Nine. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, okay, see, that's so funny. The test. Oh, here we go. The Council of Nine. So it comes in many different forms. There's different translations depending upon the civilization of the Council of Nine. But the Council of Nine that is coming to us in this moment is through the ancient Greek philosophy. Oh, so this Council of Nine you guys may see in many different common forms. And those many different common forms, is the Egyptian pantheon, the Greek pantheon, the Hindu pantheon, the you guys get the idea. The Archangel pantheon, so on and so forth. So what we have here is the ancient Greek pantheon of their Council of Nine. And theirs is Aphrodite, Apollo, Athena, Demeter, Hephaestus, Hera, Hermes, Poseidon, and Zeus. So that's the Greek version of the Council of Nine. So you gotta keep in mind that that's the Greek version, which came after Atlantis and after Egypt. So what Thoth is describing, I think that might be let me see something here. Uh-oh. I found something else. All right, I knew it. This is why we stay patient. Because the download. I feel it. I love my patience, man. Sometimes we just want to rush through this stuff and be like, maybe that's all of it. Nah. Sometimes we don't get initially brought to exactly what it is we're looking for. But here we are now. Who are the Council of Nine? There are again expressions that are called the world spirit, which is the collective consciousness of the entire planet Gaia. And there are collections of collections. The world spirit is a collective of consciousness, which is representative of your entire solar system, which generally goes by the nomenclature of the Council of Nine as a symbol or symbolic archetype of the way that consciousness has arranged itself and how it presents itself in your particular paradigm of experience. So we're getting really deep here. And I'm just going to advise us to ground a little bit, maybe make sure we're breathing deeply as we go through these mental processes, because it's very deep channeling, very deep downloads that can really rearrange our paradigm. And I just want to say I'm grateful again. Grateful for all the beings that are part of this, making this happen, as this is non-planned. It's never planned, just so you guys know. I don't plan any episode. It's all in the moment. It's all guided. It's all channeled. It's all unpredicted. I had no idea I was going to bring up anything about the Council of Nine or Seven, the Archangels. Oh Lord, that makes sense now. So it's like there's 9 that oversee the 7, and then the archangels are just underneath the dimension of the 9. Interesting. So, again, talks about how the Council of Nine is symbolic of the entire solar system. So then it says, this then, yet again, oh, beautiful download symbol. Oh my goodness. A warning on that symbol right there. Ooh-wee. So then it says, this then, yet again, system to system, is a collective, and within what you call your galaxy. Your Milky Way galaxy, there is that collective again, of a collective consciousness. Then all of the local galaxies with Andromeda spinning around, about 12 galaxies. This forms another collective, nodal point consciousness. And it is that particular level, the 12 galaxies together in combination, that represent a fragment of what is called the Gabriel consciousness. So that's where the 12 comes from. If you guys remember and recall, the Christic codes, the Christ system is of the 12 points, not the 10, but the 12 points. So the 12 points, this right here is its origin that it's speaking on, of what it means and represents. So each of the 12 points, when it comes to the Christ grid, is representative of one of the galaxies, one of the 12 galaxies of creation. When it comes to wow, this is deep. Welcome in, Kara. Two days ago, huh? Nice. Yeah, we're on Emerald Tablet number 2. And we're just going in order, taking our time, analyzing and downloading. So it talks about the 12 galaxies, also being the 12 collective nodal point consciousnesses. And then it says the 12 galaxies together in combination that represent a fragment of what is called the Gabriel consciousness. So then it says your connection to it is simply that you have vibrational resonance of that energy that are a part of your particular energy matrix. So again, that's what I'm talking about there is we have, a 12-point system that is aligned with the matrix of our being. That's our organic Christ grid. Your crystal star Sophia grid is a 12-point grid system. They've been having us in an inverted 10-point grid system. Now, the 10-point grid system isn't a bad thing, so to say. It's not something to demonize or go crazy over. It's just a more contained and less expanded version of who we really are that we're embodying when we're in a 10-point grid. When we're living by a 10-point grid, we're staying in our limited lower consciousness, where the 12-point grid completes the grid system to where we're anchored to the above and below. And matter of fact, let me go ahead and pull up an image for us. Take a moment to ground again if you need to. Take a few breaths, drink some water. We're on a space excavation right now. It's just us. Nothing else matters in the world in this moment, that's for sure. So I'm gonna pull up the 12 points. Okay, yeah. Oh gosh, we're getting into such good stuff. Like, Spirit has us getting into the deep esoteric knowledges of self. I'm telling you guys, this is the mystery school knowledge right here. I'm just like, I'm so blessed and grateful. We all are. Good to see you, the lovely queen. So here we are, ascensionglossary.com. Ascensionglossary.com is a wonderful website that will be your galactic index when it comes to looking up anything about galactic knowledge. Just so you know. Go ahead and make this larger for you guys too. And it says the 12 tree grid. This is what we're describing right here. Oh shit, man. I'm getting so excited now. Guys. Oh man. Okay, when you guys acquire this knowledge, there's no going back after this. Just so you know. Like, we're getting initiated and activated through these tablets and through Thoth. Some of us can probably feel Thoth with us. Okay. So, you know what? I'm just so excited. Alright, I'm going to read this, and I'm going to pull up the side-by-side with the tablet and this diagram. And then I'm going to go back to the tablet and read about it with the image. Okay. So, the 12 tree grid is level 1 of the light body. Alright. First sentence. Oh my god. First sentence is already something to digest. Like, man, I'm telling you guys, this stuff's potent. First sentence. The 12 tree grid is level 1 of the light body. Okay, note that. It is the architecture of our multidimensional consciousness orientation. Okay, note that right there. The core manifestation body foundation, the structure of the macrocosmic universal tree of life, is replicated with the microcosmic personal tree of life. The 12 tree grid, individual human anatomy, manifests upon and within the multidimensional layers instructed by the core manifestation template. The tree of life, which is the light body architecture, every aspect of the universal creation and life spiral are designed and instructed through these blueprint structures. Learning to travel consciously through the universal tree of life is the pathway to personal sovereignty and freedom. Intelligent bodies create the blueprint, morphogenic field of all creation. It is a base 12 template and culminates in the crystal star body with the cosmic Christ intelligence. 13, 14, and 15 are the threefold founder flame rays, Mother, Father, Son. See the cosmology of dimensions in our universal time matrix here. 12 spheres, 12 rays, 12 dimensions, 12 timelines, 24 potential, 12 DNA strands, 12 base tone harmonic structures, 144 subharmonics. That is where 144 comes from. That is what 144 truly means at the core originally, is there are 144 12 base tone harmonic structures of the cosmic Christ frequency in the 12th dimension. Beyond these 12 dimensions is the threefold founder flame, which is the founder consciousness of our universe. Wow. This does not get more powerful. I'm telling you guys. Like, what we are sitting in right now, it does not get more powerful on this planet than this knowledge that we are unfolding right now freely. Like, wow. All right, I'm gonna break this down a little bit with you guys because this in itself is something to break down. Wow, man. Let me do something real quick. I'm gonna do the split screen. So give me just one moment. I'm gonna pull up the Ascension glossary and the tablet, and I'm gonna have it on split screen for us. I forgot we were talking about the Council of Nine as well. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I'm gonna split. Technology is awesome. Like, I love, if we're patient with technology, we don't get all impatient and rush things. Man, there's awesome things that we can do like this. Think about what we're, thanks to the bridge of technology and AI, like what we're doing right now together. So beautiful. Anyhow, let me get us. So we got the grid. Oh, I messed up. I'm gonna get this, don't worry. I just like find out how to do these things on my own. I just find ways to do it. It's interesting. But we're gonna get this. Here we go. Split screen. Boom. And an Emerald tablet. And there we are. All right. My wizardry skills at work. My wizardry skills at play. How did we get to the 12? Oh. Maybe it was not the tablet? Let me see. Let me see. It may have come from the Council of Nine. Let me see what the Council of Nine has to say. Yeah, it came from the Council of Nine, that's why. Okay. So yeah, here in the Council of Nine, it's saying, and let me make sure you guys can see this correctly. It looks like oh, I know what it is. It's because I have to share the whole screen. There we go. Yeah, I got you guys. I got you guys. I can experience this the right way. Okay. So we have the side-by-side of the That's weird. I could have sworn I just like okay, there we go. I was like, wait a minute, what just happened? Are the fairies playing tricks on me? Okay. Anyhow. So we have the 12-point tree grid, and we have our description of it as well, next to this Council of Nine text. And it's talking about having the 12 galaxies of Andromeda, or with Andromeda being one. And it's talking about how they form the collective nodal point consciousness. And it is that particular level. 12 galaxies together in combination that represent a fragment of what is called Gabriel consciousness. Your connection to it is simply that you have vibrational resonance of that energy that are a part of your particular energy matrix. Thus, you have a direct link to it. Perhaps it is a little more prominent than some individuals may have, even though you all have it. So that's Bashar. And he's basically just saying that this 12 tree grid, we all have it. It is our Christ conscious nature It's our organic matrix. The more that we align ourselves with it and balance ourselves with the clear energies of it, then we are able to access more of our Christ consciousness, basically. So again, we read this, says the 12 tree grid of level 1 of the light body. So this is basically learning how to activate your light body as a human being. It is an architecture of our multidimensional consciousness orientation. The core manifestation body foundation, the structure of the macrocosm universal tree of life. It is replicated with the microcosmic personal tree of life, the 12 tree grid. Individual human anatomy manifest upon and within the multidimensional layers instructed by the core manifestation template. Shoo-wee. So with that being said, it then continues and it says, the tree of life, which is the light body architecture, every aspect of the universal creation. So again, it's saying, just like it said over here with the Council of Nine, it says that the 12 galaxies together in combination represent a fragment of what is called the Gabriel consciousness. And again, it says the 12 galaxies are the forms of the collective point consciousness. And it talks about the direct link to our own personal energy matrix. And then it says here again, every aspect of the universal creation and life spiral are designed and instructed through these blueprint structures. So when you learn these structures, you learn how to become in alignment with the organic creator blueprints. And you can manifest your own universes. Because in order to create universes, things that are going to be that expansive and that eternal, you got to use the blueprints that made it possible. The blueprints that are the blueprints of it. So when you use the blueprints of what is eternal, then you get to create more of eternal energy. That's why it's key to know what type of matrix you're programmed to. And there's no not being programmed or not being a part of a matrix. As long as you're existing in a part of existence in life, you're going to be a part of a matrix of some sort. Part of life is you have to assimilate through a matrix. The matrix is your light body. It's the etheric realm. Anyhow, so continuing, it says, through this, you learn how to travel consciously through your own universal tree of life. This is the pathway to personal sovereignty and freedom. Intelligent bodies create the blueprint, morphomagnetic field of all creation. It is a base 12 template and culminates in the crystal star body with cosmic Christ intelligence. 13, 14, and 15 are the threefold founder flame rays. So yeah, there's the threefold flame, if you guys are not familiar with threefold flame. And that would be considered 13, 14, and 15th dimension, which are not a part of this existence that we're in, this galaxy. So then it talks about the different translations of 12 throughout the universe. So then it talks about magnetized spiritual bodies. The 12 tree grid is much more important than the chakras, because we can collapse the chakras into a working unified field where they are not broken off into dimensions, feeding energies back into these siphoning entities. So the 12D ray and the 12 tree grid is like a homing pigeon that we can attract or magnetize the parts of our spiritual body, energies, densities that need to be returned back to the rightful owner, back into the original eternal God embodiment throughout the universe. The 12 tree grid is a process of a spiritual body integration, consequence that will at some point be overridden by the crystal host, as the double diamond sun body exists in a different configuration pattern. However, this 12D and 12D ray hub handshake configuration is what allows us to phone home, quote unquote, to our family of Christ here in the third matter timelines. And this is why it's so important. So to really close that out, basically what they're summing up is this 12 tree grid, this 12-point system of crystal star energy, it is our blueprint that directly connects us to the Christ consciousness. So the more that this is out of balance, distorted and blocked, the more we're going to be disconnected from our higher self, from our Christ lineage. The more that this is activated and clear and balanced, the more we're going to be phoning home and allowing our higher self to be with us every day in this life, rippling into the collective planetary grid. So with that being said, I think that's where we're going to leave off for tonight. I know we didn't even finish Emerald Tablet 2. So we'll be having a part 3 for Emerald Tablet 2 as we continue along in this, I don't know the word to use, but this mighty fine journey. Oh yeah, it's a long tablet. We might have another 2 episodes. But next week we will be taking a break from the Emerald Tablets, and we will actually be having a sacred guest come into the nightcap, and his name's Derek Ivy. He is a multiple certified hypnosis therapist, as well as Reiki master and other practices as well. And he's going to be joining us in the nightcap to explore and talk a little bit about QHHT, quantum hypnosis therapy, and we'll probably get him to be able to share a little bit of a brief hypnosis meditation for us as well live. So just tap in next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for the next episode of the SaCrEd Light Community Nightcap. Thank you guys for tapping in and tuning in tonight, participating and downloading and giving with these energies. And wow, like, ooh-wee, good gracious, we really went in. Well, Joey? Yes, you're welcome for serving the knowledge of truth, always. Thank you for being here. So glad to have my Facebook Live going again. I've been really wanting to get these get these spaces out there for you guys on my Facebook side, but I had to wait 60 days with my new account to go live. But we're at that 60-day mark now, so you're going to see me live on Facebook along with my YouTube and Instagrams. So those of you on the Facebook side, spread the word, share. I'll be going live Wednesdays and Thursdays, and then other things periodically going on as well. So with that being said, I am going to hop off of here just a moment, close the space out with you guys, and just really take your time, just digest and process this knowledge tonight. Feel free to watch the replay, take your time with it, and just really see what comes through. And keep in mind too, you know, whatever intuitive message or interpretation comes through for you throughout any of this, you know, dig into that and see what it's revealing for your own self. I know I'm gonna be sleeping good tonight after this. Goodness gracious. All right. A little bit of blue sage for you guys to uplift the energy and let go of anything else. This space is now closed. Thank you for all the energies. Thank you for the wisdom, the knowledge of Thoth. Thank you for the connections through the divine. Thank you to all of you for making this space what it is and being reflections of the self. And may you guys continue to walk with awareness of your Christ consciousness within, through these polarities, through these changes, through the shedding of emotions, as well as projections. And just remember to be you. One love. Wholeness.
To glean. Did you hear that? We were incarnated to glean. We were incarnated to bump up against the quantumness of our catalyst, to seek situations and circumstances, to seek conversations that trigger us or vibrate us into the next evolutionary step.
What is, and then also the aspect of infinite creativity being blended together. And that's kind of like a general way of explaining what creation is. You know, creation has an outline. There's like an original blueprint to creation that the source made. And then within that is just different degrees of vibration, octaves and details, that building momentum of conscious divine light. And through the conscious divine light, depending upon the frequency of the chakra, it then connects.
What energy am I in that they vibrated to that energy?